Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama. Today I have Sam here, and I am so excited because she is a mama that is a hustlin' jumper. Take it away, Sam.
Hi, everyone. So, my name is Sam. I'm 33 years old and I am a boy mom of two. I have my older son will be 14 next week, actually, a week today.
Wow.
Yeah. So, teenage life is crazy. It's something. And then I have a 4-year-old. So, total huge age gap. And it's funny because my sister and I also have the same exact age gap.
So do me and my sister.
No
We are technically
way!
apart too. Yeah.
So, you get it. You
Yes.
get it. But being the mom doing it, it's like, it's crazy. It's like I have one goo goo gaga and one's talking about middle school and it's a lot.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. How cute. You know what? I have, oh God. No, I was gonna say I haven't heard of many age gaps like that now. Like usually that was like kind of normal back in the day, but like now I feel like I haven't heard of that many age gaps like that.
No, all of my friends, like even I have a huge family. I have 12 or 13 first cousins and we all have multiple kids. There's like 27 great grandkids from my grandparents have 27 like great grandkids. So they all have kids like back to back. Even my sister, she had Irish twins and then
Oh,
they're all super close in age. I had my older son at 19. So I was a teenager and I knew that I wanted more kids, but I'm like, I need to make sure like I'm
yeah.
ready. I really waited until like I knew, okay, I am ready to have that second baby.
Oh my gosh. Well, good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. I love that. Oh my gosh, amazing. Congratulations. So
They
tell us a bit about you, Sam. Tell us about your first business.
So I first started my first business back in 2020. It was right when the pandemic hit. My older son, he turns 14 next week, so his birthday is in May. And I felt it like he was turning 10 at the time, and I wanted him to still experience, like that happy birthday, but I knew that it couldn't
Yeah.
happen due to the circumstances. And I've always DIY'd every single one of his parties. And this was before the cricket, before any of it. So like I handmade and I would spend months making his party supplies, but I loved doing it so much. Then once COVID hit, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start something and it's going to be called Party in a Box. And I would literally, and if you were in the state of New Jersey, I didn't care where you lived, I would make balloon arches and whatever theme it was. Like I remember one was a space theme. So like I created so many space party items and I put it in a box and I would deliver it at your door so it would be contactless. And it was a huge hit. And from that, I bought my first Cricut machine, a Cricut maker. So that made the parties so much easier
Yeah.
that I didn't have to like hand cut everything. And the Cricut was a huge help. And I started making t-shirts along with the party packages. But then I wanted more and I seen what I could do with
Yeah.
this. So we decided in 2021 to get a Glowforge machine, which is a laser cutter, just in case nobody knows what that is. It's a laser cutter machine so I can cut wood, acrylic. So I leaned more towards personal creations at this time where I was making personalized cutting boards and kids puzzles and just a wide variety of things. But then I started to include personalized birthday items. So, like wooden guest books. So, say your birthday party was a princess, I would do like a castle cutout and I would engrave on there like Amelia's first princess birthday party, and then everyone would sign that. So, like, just custom things, wood engraved custom things for kids'
Oh,
birthday parties I started doing.
oh my.
So, it's been such a fun ride, but I moved 3 years ago down south, South Jersey. And once I moved, my younger son, we started noticing like very obvious signs of autism.
Mm.
And he was diagnosed as nonverbal level 3 autism right when we moved down here. So there was like a couple reasons, but that was the main reason where I really stopped creating. And
Mhm.
I have been dedicating my life to helping him. And over the winter, I was like, you know what? I really, really miss creating. And I
Yeah.
started back up with the Glowforge, and then I bought my first embroidery machine, and that's where I am today.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's rewind for a second because I'm just kind of in awe, but I feel like so back back then in like 2017, I also started like an Etsy shop and the Cricut. I just feel like there was something about the Cricut back then that just brought out this like creative spur and like so many people.
Yes, the
I
cricket was where it was at.
It really honestly was. It really honestly was. I feel like it just was that like release almost. And the way you were saying like it became like something like a massive passion. I know that to the T. Like I understand that feeling so so well. The party in the box I think was a brilliant idea, especially with COVID and having, your 10-year-old's birthday party and having nothing kind of to do with it. Oh my goodness, so creative, so creative.
Yeah, it was a hit, and that was the time where you would call your local police department, and remember they would do like the birthday parade.
Yep.
So I would have sometimes I would go there and set up the balloons, and I would have like a table set up, and then the kid would sit, and then the fire department would go by, the police, and their whole family. And it was really like I look back, and as crazy as that time was,
Mhm.
it was just so special to me to feel like, okay, these kids still felt special on their birthday, you know?
Yeah, we had a drive by for my son too, just like having people like randomly stop throughout the day and like
Yeah.
wave. It was like it really was chaotic, but also just like really warming. Like you could say,
Like, what
"Oh,
a time. What a time that was.
what a time to be alive." What was the shift from going from party planning to designing kid clothing and accessories? How did that shift kind of happen?
So when I moved here, when things kind of stopped, I kind of like went through this thing where I felt like so many people were doing party planning, and I feel like I got in my own mind where it was what am I doing that someone else isn't, like, and I really really got in my head where I felt like I wasn't good enough. Like, I don't know. I always loved doing kid related things. Just bold, bright, kid related things. And I remember even with the Cricut, like I was making kids shirts. And then when I got the Glowforge, I had winter hats, and I got leather patches, and I engraved the kids' names and had them on the hat. So like that was the first hat that I did, and it was with the Glowforge. And that was in 2021. And I remember looking at these hats, and I was like, man, I wish that I can do something else with it. And
Mhm.
then just like the Cricut was all the rage in 2020, 2021, like you even said in 2017 you had the Cricut.
Yep.
All of a sudden, embroidery, you see it start coming like little by little by little. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I know that I am creative, but can I do it?
Mhm.
So my mom and my husband were both like, just do it. Just buy the machine, see what you can do with it. And I bought it, and I remember taking it out of the box and reading the instructions and watching all these YouTube videos. And I was like, what did I do? Like, what
Yep.
have I done?
Yeah.
It is so complicated,
So complicated.
but I had this vision in my head where like, no, I want to make these kids hats. I have like scrap paper where I would draw out these kids hats and these denim jackets. I wanted to just it's just always been something on the back of my mind.
Mhm.
The embroidery is all trial and error. Like you with the Cricut, I feel like a couple runs and you're like, oh, I got this. Like
Yep.
this is fun. I can do this. With this, it took me. I bought the machine in December. I didn't start perfecting the art until like March, the beginning of April. So like it's really you have to have a passion for it.
No, 100%. The first day I launched this podcast, it was May 1st. So by the time this comes out, it's quite a few episodes back. It was episode 4. I am telling you right now, I talked about how I got embroidery machine. It must have been a week that I put that thing right back in the box. I was like, absolutely not. This is not
It's
for me.
hard.
It is so
I've
hard.
tried. I
It's
like
so
was
hard.
like I want it so bad. But then my husband was like, "You know what? Listen, I'm going to watch videos on it, and we're going to learn this together." He's been super supportive because like he's known how much I've wanted to do this.
Oh, see?
So, he mastered it. He knew the whole machine inside and out. And he was like, "Sam, listen, if I can do this, I know that you can." Then my 13-year-old came in here, and he was like, "Mom, it's easy. It just has to click, and you're going to get it." Because even he figured out how to do the sewing part of it. So I was like,
I
okay, like I'm going to do this. And now that I've got the hang of it, I feel like I'm digitizing my own designs for the
Oh,
most
that's
part
amazing.
now, where it's like you have an image, and like say you have like a team logo, or you
Mhm.
wanted a picture of Lilo and Stitch, but you didn't like the files that were on Etsy. I can take a clip art and it takes a while, but I digitize it to become an embroidery file. So I'm trying to make things that are not out there, like that you won't be
Oh my
able to find on Etsy. Like I would be the only one making it.
that's
I put a
amazing.
lot of pressure on myself, but I really enjoy doing these things.
That is amazing. That is amazing. First off, the fact that you had such terrible imposter syndrome, I really honestly think we've all been there. And like that's why this podcast has been made. So everybody knows like it's literally not just you. We're all in this same boat, especially when we're creatives. I feel like we're very hard on ourselves because you're looking at all of these incredible things on Etsy and you're like, how can I make this different? How can I make this different? And now here you are, your whole family is so supportive. Let's just talk about that for a second. That is incredible that they're like, we
Yeah,
can
they've
learn it to
been
help
very
you.
supportive.
That is amazing. My gosh, congratulations on that. And then you go and you're digitizing your own things. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
I
I
love that so much.
I like doing it. And I remember putting on the first video, the first tutorial I ever pulled up on digitizing your own images. The
Mhm.
first thing this girl said was, "Do you ever wonder why people pay to get their photos digitized, or a lot of people buy their files on Etsy? It's because it is so hard. You are going to hate every bit of it, and it's almost impossible to do it." I was like, wow, what a pep talk that was. I was like, oh my God. But then once you start doing it, it's like a code. Remember MySpace days when we all had
Yes.
to like code our MySpaces? I'm like,
Yep.
listen, if I can code my MySpace to play music, I could digitize a file.
Yeah. If I could find LimeWire and download these illegal songs,
Yes,
I could do a file.
exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
my gosh. Okay, so what is your favorite part of the process? Creating, packaging, connecting with customers. What's your favorite part of this whole thing?
I think watching it, like for embroidery purposes, it's watching it start to print. Like I'm working on like we're going to Disney in a week. So I'm working on a denim jacket. I have it right here of all my son's favorite Disney characters, but it's going to be like the prototype for the boys' Disney denim jackets. And I will literally like sit for a week and I'll just think about it. Okay, he likes this, this, this. Okay, I'm looking at the denim jacket and I'm putting it all together in my mind. Then I'm making the file, or just in case, like say the file is too much and I get a file from Etsy. I'm like, okay, I play around with it in my software. And the moment I start printing it on the jacket, I want to shout it from the rooftops. I'll be like, everyone come in here. Look at it. Look at it
I
printing.
did
Like,
this.
and then like I love taking photos of what I've
Mhm.
I love interior design. I love home decorating. So I feel like I'm very visual with things and I know how to make things look. I will pat myself on the back with this one. I know how to make things look very visually appealing. So setting up the hats or the jacket and taking photos of it, that too is like one of my favorite things to do. And like going back and looking at like the photos and being like, that's it.
Oh my goodness. I think, there's something about getting the perfect photo because that is what's going to sell it. I swear to
Yes.
goodness.
Like if I'm looking for something on Etsy and I don't like the way the photo looks, I'm like, I can probably find something a little better. It's
Yep.
really we're very visual. People are
Mhm.
very, very visual. Our eyes go to what we want to see.
100%. 100%. Okay, so let's just stick on the Etsy train. So you just launched your Etsy shop. How has that been going so far?
So I had an Etsy shop in 2021 when I first launched everything. That was pretty good. I had a decent amount of sales, but then once I kind of closed shop, went on vacation mode on Etsy. Then I started realizing that once you do that, Etsy kind of like not shadow bans, but in other words, shadow bans you. It's like really hard to get out of it. And I thought
Mhm.
about deleting the Etsy shop, and then I'm like, you know what? No, I already have these sales and like really good reviews on it. So I
Mhm.
just deleted all the posts and I just added what I'm doing now. And I've also been reading about like keywords, how
Yeah.
your title has to be like obnoxiously long. So I've been doing that. And I actually, so far, I think it's been up for like a week. I've had like 5 or 6 sales already. So I'm happy with that because I
Yeah,
would rather it start like, slow and steady so that I don't feel like super overwhelmed.
for
But I'm
sure.
happy once you start getting sales, you know how they start pushing you out. So I'm hoping that with getting these little sales that it will continue to push out. But every time you hear that cha-ching, you're like, oh my God, I got an Etsy sale.
Somebody likes my work. What are you selling on your Etsy shop right now?
So it's mostly hats. I have two denim jackets on there. It's a Disney's Descendants girls jacket and a Disney princess jacket. I plan on putting the Disney boys jacket on there, but pretty much it's just the kids' hats for now.
Very cool. So let's just say,
Yeah.
I don't know, some kind of podcaster who has a logo wants to get their logo digitized and put on a hat. Would you be able to do it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, that podcaster's me. I would like that. Oh my goodness,
Me, I'm
how
not
cool.
asking for a friend. I'm asking for me.
Spoiler alert, it's me. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
that's exciting. That's so exciting. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, when I did the embroidery for a week, that was one of the things. I was like, I really want to figure out how I can make my own like products, my own, what are they called? Templates. I was like, okay, I can figure this out. I can figure this out. And I just remember there are just some things, and I keep saying this, there's just some things that people are just really, really good at. And when you're passionate for it, it just makes it 10 times better. Like you're passionate about embroidering. I think I
Yeah.
was
I
just doing it
hate
just
it.
because I liked the way it looked. So I was like, "Oh, I like that. I want
And
to do
even
it."
the filing is different. Like with the Cricut,
Yeah.
everything was like, what was it, PNG or SVG files. With this,
Yep.
it's PES. And I was like, what is that? Like, what is, and the files are so, they're just so different. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm never going to be able to understand this. But I still love working with the Glowforge. Like I still make the hats with the patches. But it's just like, I feel like since 2020, it went from my hands to the Cricut, to the Glowforge, to the embroidery. And it's like, I just want to master it all so that I'm able to just do whatever someone wants. Like if someone came to me
Yeah.
and they're like, well, I want this, but I really love focusing on the kid stuff right now. Like it's just so fun and I love it. And I have my own kids. So it's just like, I just love it. I love it so much.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's so cute. And they get so excited when they see their favorite characters. Like
Oh, yeah.
when we're at any vendor event, if I see something with their favorite character, I know it has to come home with us. Like I know they're gonna pass it and be like, "Oh, can I make this?" Especially when it's like customizable. Oh my goodness, I love me some customizable stuff. Like
I
even if
know.
it's a pen, I'm like, "Go
Me
ahead,
too.
make the Peppa Pig pen. It's cool. It's fine. We're gonna just bring it home." Oh my goodness, what advice would you give to other moms who are considering starting something creative but feel the market may be too saturated?
That's such a good question because even today, even in where I'm at right now, I still ask myself that all the time. Like, so for me, it's don't ever give up on yourself.
Mhm.
Invest in yourself because I feel like a lot of times, and back in 2021, 2022, and then eventually when I closed shop, I feel like I let a lot of people and things get in my head and I felt like I wasn't up to par with everybody else. And I was listening to outside noise. And even now, you had an Etsy shop.
Mhm.
Having your own small business, your success depends on word of mouth. Who's sharing? Who's talking about your business on Etsy? If you get an order, Etsy's going to push you out. But it's all word of mouth. And it's hard because like I've noticed this go around, I do not nearly have the same support as I had years ago. And I feel like now it's well, someone might be doing embroidery or someone might have a glow forge, someone might be doing this, someone might be doing that. And it's like things are getting lost because not a lot of people support, which
Yeah.
is fine. But don't ever not invest in yourself. Push every single day. Show up, post yourself, I used to do the pop-up shops a lot. I haven't yet here. I want to start looking because there's a lot of farms around here, like a lot of those farmer market
Yeah.
vendor shows. But just show up for yourself. If you have a passion for something, just do it. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Post every day. Be consistent, do what you love to do, and your work will speak for yourself. Because there's times where I get down on myself where I'll even tell my husband, that hat was really good. No one's sharing it. And he's like, did you share it? And I'm like, yeah, that's all that matters. Show up for yourself. Like, block
Yeah.
out that outside noise because it will swallow you whole. Because a couple years ago, it swallowed me whole. And I wound up closing my shop for many reasons. But one of them is I was really listening to that outside noise. Why aren't people sharing me? Why aren't people supporting? Like, don't listen to it and just do it for you.
Oh my gosh. So I feel this to my stinking core. A couple years ago, I was so close to quitting children's books. So close. I was so embarrassed. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't like doing what I want. People are probably making fun of me behind my back. People are probably judging me for
Yeah.
this. Like, this person's not buying, this person's not talking about it. That outside noise could be deafening, deafening. Like, the
Yeah.
fact that I just, like, I can't even express this enough. Like, I love these conversations because the whole point is to truly show that we're not alone, and we're seriously not. Like, all of us are thinking and feeling the
No.
same exact things. Oh my goodness. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you didn't quit. I'm so glad you didn't quit.
Yeah. I mean, I even now, like a couple weeks ago, I was like, why am I doing this? Like,
Mm.
why am I doing this? But then I have to keep reminding myself that I'm doing it for me.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
doing it because I like doing this. I love doing it. I've been doing it for so long. Yeah, the embroidery is new to me, but I have been crafting and using crafting as my outlet. I'm very vocal on my Instagram that I struggle really bad with anxiety. I struggle with
Mhm.
depression, and crafting is one thing that saves me every time. If
Yeah.
I'm feeling anxious, I'm in my office right now. I come in here and I'll go on my computer, I'll make something and I feel a release. And I have friends who are so talented and I'm like, "Do it. Just start it. What is the
Yeah.
worst that can happen? Just do it."
Seriously.
Especially as a stay-at-home
Seriously.
mom.
Yeah. I feel like it's an outlet too. Like creating
It
in
is.
general is just an outlet. And it's not like you're doing it for nothing. Like you got 5, 6 sales in the first couple weeks of revamping your Etsy. Like let's not let's not
Yeah,
cut yourself short here. Like you already have sales coming in. So like it's still going to
yeah,
benefit you. It might not be
I
your
know.
best friend that bought it, but somebody somewhere liked it and bought it. And that is really
One
cool.
of the sales was in California, and I was like, "Wow."
Look at you, Owen Callie. I
And
love
I
it.
remember I maybe like a month ago,
Mhm.
I put one hat on my Etsy and it got 0 views. And then I was like, "Hmm." But then I started looking and it's like, "No, Etsy wants you to post multiple things. They want you to have a lot in your shop because
Yep,
they think it's spam." I even
yep,
got an email 2 days ago saying like when I entered the tracking for the first thing, then I'll get paid because I've been inactive for so long that they
mhm.
want to make sure. So I started posting all my hats on there. I sent out my first hat, the tracking, and now I really do. I feel like it's just like, okay, this person's real. We're gonna push
Yeah,
it now. So, but it feels good.
for sure, as it should, as it should. And there's, for anybody listening, I think her name is Cassie Johnson. Am I wrong in that? I think her name is Cassie Johnson. She's on YouTube. She has a ton of help with starting an Etsy shop. She was the person that I read that from, that she like was like, have to put a bunch of things in your title to make sure that it's searchable. So
Yes.
that's who I think I saw who did it. So I think her name is Cassie Johnson. And if I'm wrong, I apologize and I'll make sure it's right by the time we talk. Okay, so what's one thing you wish more people understood about running a handmade business?
How much time goes into it?
Mm.
With pricing, I feel like some people might look at a hat, right? Like
Mhm.
it's just a denim hat. But they don't realize even these denim jackets, it's just a denim jacket, right?
Mhm.
They don't realize that each design, I have a single needle machine. I
Okay.
don't have a multi needle machine. So, which means that every time that I switch out a color, like a thread, any color that you see on a design that I make, I have to hand switch out every single color. So each design takes me about an hour. So if there's 6 patches on your jacket, it took me 6 hours alone just to embroider it. That's not counting designing it and mapping it out because like I said I have a single needle machine, so every time one thing prints I have to take it off the hoop, I have to recenter it, I have to map out tape and make sure that everything is centered. Like it takes a long time, and
Yeah.
I don't think that people realize how much time and thought and energy. I have 2 kids, like it's a lot.
For
So, and I try to be very reasonable with my pricing. But a lot of times people are like, "You're charging X amount of dollars for a hat." And it's like, "Yes, I am."
yeah. Yeah.
So I think you have to be just like very mindful when you're shopping small that these are people who, we are creating these things. We are taking time out from our children, our husbands, our everyday life, and it takes a good amount of time to make these things.
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's such a good point. I just don't think when we look at pricing, especially on Etsy, especially in the holidays, and it's like, oh, let's get such and such for so and so, and it's like, man, it's $50, but you're so right. Like, thanks for bringing that to light. Like, that is somebody who is hand making it. It's not a factory that's just pushing out 700 of them in a minute. It's literally a person sitting there making it with their hand, which also means that if you are wanting to start a handmade shop, that you should take that into account and really do your research and look at your competitors on Etsy and making sure what they're charging. Like, you don't want to blow everybody out of the water, but you also don't want to cut yourself too short either.
Exactly. Like when I first reopened my Etsy shop, I remember I was on the phone with my sister and I'm like, how am I supposed to price these things? So like she took out her computer, I was on mine, and we were like just searching to see like in the market, how much are people charging? There's not a lot of people who there are people out there, but there's not a lot where they're embroidering the actual design to a hat or a jacket. A lot of times it's the iron-on or sew-on patches, and their pricing is up there. So I'm like, okay, well, it's taking me an hour to do each design. Like, you have to really, really, like you said, don't ever sell yourself short. Ever. Like you said, we're not saying to charge $1 million, but see what everybody else is charging, and always take an account of your time. I mean, there's times where I'm in here and I'm embroidering and I have my son and I'm giving him snacks and I'm doing coloring books and I have this and that. It's like, take account for your time and your energy because it's worth it. And you also have to take account that Etsy takes a part of your sales. So you have to charge a little bit more, not much more, but you want to make sure that you are making the profit.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. What it goes into, like what the supplies you have to buy, your time, the fees, it's all things to consider. And then, there's sales and deals and, definitely things to keep in mind for sure, for sure. But I do want to go back to like, there's a lot of things to keep in mind, but honestly, I know I've said this a couple of episodes, but like Etsy is my top tier. Like, one day I'm going to master that. Like, that has been what I wanted to do since 2017. No idea what I'm going to make, but it's up there. It is up there. My gosh.
You're going to make that Cricut girl proud one day.
Yeah. You wait, guys.
For anything like that I ever need, I go on Etsy. I love buying from Etsy sellers, like, because I know like, I just ordered a shirt for Disney on Etsy. I could have made it myself.
Yeah.
I 100% could have made it myself, but I love supporting other creators. And I know someone just as hungry for this was so excited when they got that sale, like,
yeah.
So I love sellers and I love shopping small. It just means a lot.
For sure. For sure. It definitely does. It definitely does. And I just think, it's so, we always talk about like giving back and whatever. I think every single Etsy shop for the most part are people that truly put a lot of time and effort, especially if it's handmade, truly put a lot of time and effort into it and really want to succeed. So that's really cool.
Yes.
Okay, so even though you have an Etsy shop that you are working on and things are happening, you're also going full-time on Instagram now. So what sparked that shift and what's your goal for your platform?
Yes. So when I first had my older son, Logan, in 2011, 2012, I think it was 2012, is when Instagram came out. And I remember going on there and I was like, whoa, I love talking. I love sharing. And I remember like, I was just posting everything. I was like, this is great. And then I started learning from so many people on Instagram of their other moms, other teen moms. Like, I was a teenage mom. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And I would turn to YouTube, Instagram to figure out like, whoa, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, and of course my family is so supportive. They've helped me along this whole entire journey. But like, I wanted something for myself. So I started blogging and vlogging. Back in the day, like I had a YouTube channel and everything.
Oh my gosh.
And I loved it. I would take pictures of everything, like, and we would make pancakes and we would just do crafts, and I would take him somewhere for the day when he was like 2 or 3 years old, and I would take pictures because doing video wasn't big then. Yeah. Everything was pictures. People wanted to see pictures. So I mean, I even now my phone has 70,000 videos in it
Oh.
because I love capturing the moment and I love sharing, and I feel like because I had my son at like so young, I was always looking for advice and for help. And I started posting a little tidbits of my days, and I remember getting messages like, "Wow, that really helped me today." Like, "Oh, I made your pancake recipe last week and it was really good." And then I started to feel like, "Wow, maybe I can like actually help people on here." And
Mhm,
I took it serious on and off. Throughout the years, on and off, I took it really serious and then I would fall off for a couple months. And then I was like, no, this is what I want. And then I would fall off for a couple months. Once I had my younger son 4 years ago, since then, I've been really trying to take it like super serious.
mhm,
I love creating reels. I love connecting to people. I don't have a big following at all. It's very hard to grow on Instagram. I
mhm.
kick myself all the time because I should have taken it seriously back then because I probably would have
Yeah.
grew fast. But I didn't, and I'm here now, and I would be considered a micro influencer. I do get paid for some of the content that I post, which is it's a big help for my family, and I just love, even with my younger son having autism, I go back and forth sometimes because I don't want to like expose him or exploit him, and I
Mm,
always feel bad about myself when I post things. But then when I post it and I have someone message me and they're like, "I suspected that my son had autism and I watched your video and I called early intervention and we're in the process now of getting him in for services." Like, I had someone say that to me one time
wow,
because of me,
for
they
sure.
got their son services. And I was like, wow, like getting an autism diagnosis, and not only an autism diagnosis, but a diagnosis of like nonverbal,
Mhm,
it is the most scary, isolating, most alone feeling. Like you grieve. I grieved my son's childhood. I grieved what I thought he was going to experience or what I was going to experience. And it's not really about me. It's like, why him?
mhm,
And I don't ever want people to feel that way.
mhm.
And I try to really post like, you're not alone. Like these
Yep.
feelings, we all feel them. You know, like my son taught, like he can say he's non-conversational now. Like you can't hold a conversation with him, but he can tell us things now, and he says over 200 words. And it's been a long journey, but I love posting how to advocate for your child if you don't know how, because we all need that. It doesn't
Yeah.
come with it doesn't come with a manual to begin with.
No,
But when you're raising like a special needs child like this, you really do feel alone. So I want people to know that they're not alone.
that's beautiful. That's honestly so beautiful, and
Thank
again,
you.
oh my goodness. Okay, so back to Instagram. Congrats on your first brand collab with Sprout. How did that
Yes.
come about, and how did you feel landing your first partnership?
So I've worked with Sprout since I moved here 3 years ago. We always did content for product
Mhm.
collaborations. So they would send me all their new goodies, and they've even, like, my son Emmett is in an ABA clinic with, it's like a applied behavioral analysis. That's what it stands for, but it's a clinic for children with autism, and he goes there, and they've even sent me snacks for the kids at school. Like, they've been so sweet and so nice. And I in October I got an email from them asking if I wanted to collab with them for like paid
Wow.
content. And I was like, "What? Absolutely. Like, yes." And I've collaborated with like a lot of brands. I've partnered with brands for content exchange or like things like that, but this was like my first like paid. So like the reels that I make for them now, I get paid, which is so it's such a cool experience.
Oh
It's
my
fun.
god. That is so cool. So cool. So what are you doing behind the scenes to grow your Instagram and make it a real stream of income?
So um It's it's tricky because Instagram is all about getting to know the algorithm, which the algorithm changes every 45 seconds. So it's like really hard to stay on top of it. But I mean, it's for me, I'm trying now to just be like, okay, I can't focus on like I have to gain followers, I have to do this, because what I'm learning is brands don't really care about that number. Some do, some
Mhm,
don't. Some just want to see that you have an audience that really trusts you, your
mhm,
opinion, and what you stand for. So that's really what I've been trying to focus on. I feel like for a long time I had it in my head, like this is like you said before, like this is so embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
what if someone's coming on my page and they're like, "Oh my God, she has 1,800 followers. Like, what is she calling herself an influencer?" But it's like, I just want to be true to myself, and anything that
For
I
sure.
post on my Instagram, I fully 100% believe and
Mhm.
back. I have nothing to hide. I mean, I'm not getting paid thousands of dollars. I'm really giving my followers my honest opinion. And I feel like it's just really staying true to yourself and being consistent. I feel like there's times, we all go through things where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't feel like posting today, or I don't feel like doing this. But really just staying consistent and letting the algorithm know, like, hey, I'm here. I'm here and I'm trying. And what I'm newly finding out is don't laugh, everybody. But I always thought that brands had to come to you, like they see your page and they're like, wow, I want to work with you. No, you have reached out to brands. One of my friends who's very successful on Instagram, I was like, girl, how are you doing this? And she's like, do you do X, Y, and Z? Are you reaching out to brands? And I'm like, what? I've been doing this for so long. Like, no. So that's what we're doing home renovations right now, and it's just a hot mess. But once this all clears, like that's my goal, is to like sit down and reach out to brands that I am passionate about and that I actually use on an everyday basis, and just tell them like, hey, I am an actual customer. I am a mom. I use your things for my kids. I'm very picky
Mhm.
on brands that I use. I went down the health rabbit hole, and I tried to really exclude dyes, and ingredients mean a lot to me. So that's really what I promote on my page, like just clean ingredients, clean cooking, clean living, and just trying to do my part. I don't know. So that's something that I really want to focus on once I'm able to like sit down and have this all done.
My goodness. So you heard it here first. You don't have to wait for the brand. The
Yeah, no,
brand,
you
you can
gotta
go
reach
to
out
running
to
towards the brand.
because Sprout reached out to me. So I was like, hey, all right, this is how it's supposed to be done. And all the other brands that I've worked with, or like all these other brands that reached out and have sent me their products, they reached out to me. And I remember I always told my husband, I'm being so patient and I'm just waiting for someone to notice me. And I'm like, oh man, did I have that wrong?
Also think too, you have to tag them. Like you have to tag
Yeah.
them to show them that you're actively using their stuff. Like I feel
Yes.
like that you must have been tagging Sprout for them to be like, oh, Sam exists.
Yes. Actually, it's so funny because how they found me was I tagged the wrong Sprout. I tagged Sprout Market. Like the food
Yes.
store. I was shopping there and I went to go tag Sprout Market, and I tagged Sprout Baby Food, Sprout Organics. And they were like, "Oh, it happens all the time. You tagged the wrong Sprout." And I was like, "I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry." And like an hour later, they were like, "Hey, we actually just looked at your profile and like we love everything that you post. Would you want to collab?" And I was like, "Wow, that worked out great."
You for that. Oh my gosh. That is
I know, yeah.
really cool.
But it really is. It's just like finding a brand that you really like and just tagging them and making reels and say like, I use this. This is how I use it. And just be authentic. Just be
Yeah.
yourself. And I feel like that's another thing that I struggled with for so long, where it was like
Mhm.
looking at all these other mom influencers, and it's like, well, they do it this way, but that's not how I do it.
Mhm.
So I feel like in order to set yourself apart is to just be yourself, and to, even if it's not what everybody else is doing, do it how you do it,
Mhm.
because that's what makes you and your content special, is because you have your outside of the box. You're not in this cookie cutter,
For
it's no.
sure.
I'm a hot mess. I have no idea which way is up most days, and I think that that's what gravitates people towards me, is because I'm relatable. And this is
Yeah.
really how I am, like, all the time.
Oh my gosh. And we love you the way you are. I love that. I love that. If you could give one free piece of advice to a mom listening who wants to turn their creativity into cash, what would it be?
It would be to just take the chance on yourself. Just take the risk and just do it. One regret that I have is just waiting so long, because I always had that thought in my head is, wow, I should really be doing this. I should really be doing this. And I dragged my feet. But if you're passionate about something, what is the worst that can happen? I mean, you're
Sure.
going to be doing what you love. You're going to get sales, whether it's one or two the first couple months, it counts. You're going to
Mhm.
get your name out there. I feel like what's lacking in a lot of, just not even small business, just this world in general, is a passion for things, and you can see it. You can see it. I
Mhm.
mean, you go to the doctor's office, you go here, you go there, and there's just no passion anymore for anything. So when you find a small business, these small businesses are built on passion and drive, and it's something that they want. So if you have that, if you have that spark, I really love baking. I've been doing it for years. I love it. Start your little shop. If you love to embroider, if you love to, do anything, just do it.
I love that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The passion, the passion. It's a repetitive thing here that I'm always like saying, like, if you're going to start this, make sure you're passionate about it because it takes work and it takes effort. So you just want to make sure that you actually enjoy doing it.
Yeah. And
Or
there's
else you
going to
can go
be
back to a
times
nine to
where
five.
things go wrong. Like I have ruined so many hats the first couple months. So many denim jackets I have wasted. I can't even tell you. And remember, in order to make money, you're going to lose money. So if
Yeah.
you lose money, do not beat yourself up because it's going to happen. I remember being like, "Oh my god, like what am I doing?" My advice though, if you're going to start embroidery, my door is always open. If you have any questions, you can always message me and I will help you the best way that I can. But my advice to you is say you want to make denim, right?
Mhm.
Cut up old pairs of jeans and practice on that. Don't buy the actual product, okay? Because that's where I went wrong many times. If you want to do t-shirts, if you want to do sweatshirts, go to Goodwill, get your kids' old sweatshirts, cut them up, and use that as your guide, as your fabric. Don't buy the real deal until you're ready to be like, okay, I think I got this.
Oh my goodness, that is fantastic advice. Fantastic advice. Couple years too late for me, but fantastic advice.
I know. I'm too late for myself too because I wasted a bunch. I have a whole drawer back here filled with projects that did not work out so well.
Can't let them go. Can't let them go though. And
Oh no, I have my
what does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
It just means for me, I'm doing something that I love, but I'm also able to contribute to my house, to my kids, and it just makes me feel so good about myself that I'm able to do what I love, but to provide. And it's not something that I'm forcing myself to do. It's something that I enjoy doing. And my dad always tells me, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So that's what I always think about. Okay, this is what I love to do, and this is what I'm going to do. So if you can do something that you're passionate about and make money, that is what it's all about.
Beautifully said. And how can our listeners support you? Where can they shop and follow along?
Okay, so my business account for all of my embroidery things, it's The Crow's Nest Co. Co. And then my regular Instagram, like where I make all my mom content, is Samantha Nesty, N as in Nancy, EST. I feel like I'm on the phone with the doctor. N as in Nancy, Samantha Nesty. And my Etsy is linked in my bio of my Instagram shop.
Awesome. Awesome. We're definitely going to be checking it out. I'm definitely going to tell my podcasting friend about your being able to change the logo into a embroidery design.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. So what's next for your business? Any dreams or drops that you're excited about?
So I really want to. I love doing Disney stuff. Like I love Disney.
Me
The last
too.
couple of years, like, I've turned into a Disney adult. And like I really want to hone in on special pieces for the parks. Even like Universal.
Mhm.
Universal is special to me. I went all the time growing up with my dad. So like I love Shrek. I've made Shrek hats, Harry Potter hats, just like things to make your trips memorable.
Mhm. I love that.
I really want to focus on just doing just and not just Disney. I don't want to focus on just that, but like really just growing these custom jackets and making things just special for your trip.
We are big Disney family, big. We love it so much. We have the best time. And I love that Epic is out now. So you have a bunch of other characters to get going on your shop with. That is
I know.
going to be incredible.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
Sam,
just did that Harry Potter hat and I was like, I gotta get this up on Etsy.
I have to go check it out. I love me some Harry Potter. Sam, I am so thankful that you came on today. We have learned so much, like Etsy, Instagram. You are just like a wealth of information. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
And like I said before, my door is always open. I would never not support you if you're doing the same thing as me, or even if you wanted to open the doors of trying to become an influencer. I am an open book, and whatever questions you have, I will probably have some kind of answer for.
Amazing. Thank you so much again. And we'll see you guys later.
Thank you. Bye.